Welcome, everybody, to the last council meeting of 2025 as we navigate through some really important business tonight. Welcoming to all staff and to all of council as we prepare to bring down the city's budget and also the other business of the city. Councillor Antle will be on the 22-minute podium in about half an hour or so, right? So welcome again. And council, you see before you on eScribe, you see the agenda. I'm assuming there's nothing outside the kit. So I'm going to call for a motion. Thank you, Councillor Rice. Seconded by Councillor Randall to adopt the agenda. All in favor? Opposed? That's carried. Thank you. In recognition of the City of Mount Pearl's commitment to foster respectful and collaborative relationships with Indigenous peoples here in the City of Mount Pearl and beyond, we hereby acknowledge that the land on which we gather is the ancestral and unceded territory of the Beothuk and the Mi'kmaq. Mount Pearl and the broader metro region continues to be home to diverse Indigenous peoples, including First Nations, Inuit, and Métis. Last council meeting we had publicly was November 18th. Before you, council, before we adopt the minutes, is there any errors or omissions? And my thanks to the city clerk as well as the executive assistant for helping out and getting them to us. Hearing none, I'll call for a motion, please. And that is from Councillor Fry, seconded by Councillor Lane, that we adopt those minutes. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. And you may, whenever you're ready, offer any points of business arising. Moving right along. All good? All right, the next item, folks, we have a presentation proclamation, and it's related to, I think, something that's extremely important this time of the year, and it has to do with the Kettle Campaign. And that is brought to you by our good friends at the Salvation Army, and it serves a huge need, a huge gap, unfortunately, in our community. And I'm welcoming Pam here. We're going on a first name basis tonight. Pam and Janelle, would you like to come up and join us? Pam is with head office, and I believe Janelle is with the Citadel here in the city of Mount Pearl. Season's greetings. Merry Christmas. Good to see you, Janelle. Merry Christmas, guys. All right, here we go. So happy holidays. And we're approaching the final stretch of the Salvation Army's Christmas Kettle campaign. And it's an essential initiative in the fight against poverty and food insecurity here in the city of Mount Pearl and, frankly, across Canada. The Salvation Army is committed to ensuring that no one is alone in their time of need and that they have an entire army on their side. And this holiday season, we want to encourage all of our citizens, our residents, to come together to make a difference by contributing to a Christmas kettle or donating online to thesalvationarmy.ca. It is through our collective efforts as a community that we can give hope to those in need. And many of us do serve on the kettle, if I can use the word serve, but we volunteer to help out, which is kind of nice too. On behalf of our city and our council, please help all of us support the efforts of the Christmas Kettle campaign. And we have a final push that they're really trying to emphasize as we give hope and we help others in this holiday season. So I'm going to ask, I think Pam is going to take the microphone. Pam, it's all about helping others at the end of the day. It's important that we have the Salvation Army involved, but it's really important that we help those that are in the greatest need.
Yes. And so the Salvation Army 365 days a year, not just at Christmas, is here to serve. Last year, the Salvation Army provided toys for over 2,200 children here in the metro area, Mount Pearl, St. John's, Paradise, and every year 15,000 people are getting a hot meal here in the city. We could not do that without the tremendous support of the public, and we're grateful that you allow us to help others. Thank you.
And in talking about the final push, I guess when you start the Kettle campaign was like roughly 2 weeks ago. And I guess, does it lose a little bit of its momentum? And this is why we're trying to keep it going, right?
We've got 2 weeks to go. And as people are out and about, it actually, the little bit of snowy weather usually helps. It puts people a little more in the Christmas spirit and thinking about others who, some of our friends who could be living on the street or struggling. It's an impossible choice. Do I pay my rent or do I give my kids Christmas? Do I pay my utilities or do I today?
And if you've
so
already donated and you
you've
don't want to make a
donated-
donation, but you pass by a volunteer, a good Merry Christmas goes a long way, doesn't
Absolutely.
it?
And even that loony or toonie can go a long
Yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
No, thank you for coming. Council, would you like to make any further comments? Hearing none, no need for any motions. I want to thank you for coming in. Wish you a Merry Christmas on behalf of our city. And if you join us in a picture, and you don't mind a little bit of social media
no,
to
we
promote
can
it, right?
manage that.
Okay, let's give that a try if we could. Well, all guests are welcome to stay for council meetings that usually are very exciting, but maybe not so much, right? But thank you very much, everybody. And now we're going to move on past correspondence. We have a Public Works status report, I believe. Coming to the microphone is Councillor Fry.
Sorry, Your Worship, just pulling it up here now. Okay, so this is for the information of residents. It's our Public Works status update. So as we know, snow clearing and ice control is taking place as required, and we've seen them out and about the last couple of days. Our Christmas lighting at St. David's Park and Powers Pond have been completed, which looks fabulous. So anybody who's been out and about, I'm sure they see all that hard work. Our fleet division, we have ongoing service and maintenance, ongoing motor vehicle inspections, and snow clearing equipment is being maintained for the season. Under our UTM division, of course, we have our general calls and water and sewer repairs. Our lift station inspections and maintenance are continuing, and our water levels at Babel's Big Pond as of December 1st are here attached. And as you can see, it has risen about 7 feet since late October, early November. So all of that rain that we've had, it's not for nothing.
Let's hold on to that water, says you, right? Thank you, Councillor.
That's it.
Councillor Locke, I think, has a comment.
Thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to make reference to the Babel's Big Pond levels. Councillor Rice and I attended the regional water meetings here a few weeks back. And, you know, it's good to know that the levels, while they were greatly reduced during the drought that we had this past summer, the city of St. John's was able to redirect, I think, the hospital onto Windsor Lake. And it was that move that that prevented us getting into dire circumstances where we had to ration water. So it was enlightening to hear that they have the capability to move water around for the regional service. And Mother Nature was on our side here, so it's good to see. We're still not as high as the lowest amount there in 2009, but at least the trajectory is in the right direction. I thank you, Mayor.
Back to you, Councillor Fry.
And that's it for our report this evening, Your Worship. Thank you.
Yeah, I shut down my Deputy Mayor Kiley for Recreation. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Worship. I have a few information notes in relation to the winter and the holiday season. Bear with me. I'm going to be opening them up as we go along in our program here. So the first one, in fact, is, and these are all for information, is the Glacier Arena. And this is the holiday final skate information. So just to let you know, we have the final skating dates have been posted at the Glacier and on the city's website, and all public skates will resume on Friday, January 2nd, 2026. I think it was the first time I said that date. So we're closer to the end than we think. The next one is a registration date for winter sessions, swim lessons, general fitness programs, and Mount Pearl Seniors Independence Group. So bear with me as I open up that one as well. So this is, again, the information for council and for your consideration. The registration dates for winter 2026 swim lessons and all general fitness programs will take place as follows. General fitness programs, residents, is December 6th, Tuesday at 5 p.m. That's open registration registration will be open as of Thursday, December 18th at 5 p.m. We also have the Mount Pearl Seniors Independence Fitness classes for residents, and that will begin Tuesday, December 16th at 1 p.m. And registration will open on Thursday, December 18th at 1 p.m. Finally, swimming lessons for residents that will begin January 5th, Monday at 5 p.m. And registration will be open as of Wednesday, January 7th at 5 p.m. And again, all of our details in relation to that will be available on all of our social media and our website options. The next one is registration dates for the winter sessions. The holiday hours for our recreation facility. So bear with me. I'm just going to open up the first information note there. Thank you. Information for attention. Again, this is information note, and that's for the holiday hours of operation for recreation facilities, the Summit Center, Reed Center, Gloria Pearson Center, and the Glacier Arena. Now they're all posted on the city's website and at each of these locations. Again, check out our website, check out our socials, and we'll have that all available for you. And finally, one moment as I open up the next information note. And as you can see there, that is the holiday hours listed there, council, for your information. And again, that will be available on our website and at all our facilities as well. The final note, again, it's an information note. And again, this is a time where recreation is it doesn't stop. And it's just so exciting as we're getting into the winter session, what's happening there. And this is a family first night celebration And this is a lovely event that we've had for a few years now. And just for the information of public, December 31st, of course, at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., the Summit Center is going to be offering a free public swim to all families that are invited. And then the annual First Night Skate celebrations will take place at the Glacier from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. And the families are invited free of charge to this non-alcoholic family event. And I believe the mayor as well as council is going to ring in the new year for anyone a little bit earlier, but why not for this celebration. The free swim and free skate both are sponsored by Celebrate NL. And that is, again, a lot of activity happening at the within the recreation division as of now, and that brings me to my final item, and that brings us to community safety. I hand it off to my colleague, Councillor Lane.
Councillor Lane, Community Safety, go ahead, please.
Thank you very much. Just one item for me this evening, but it's an important one. So a reminder to the public that the city's noise regulations stipulate that fireworks can only be discharged between dusk on New Year's Eve, December 31st, to 12:30 a.m. on January 1st. Guys, and I understand everyone loves fireworks. Well, a lot of people enjoy them on certain occasions, but it's important to adhere to the guidelines that the city have in place because while some people may enjoy them for people who have young babies, fireworks are very disruptive as well as people who have various other reasons such as animals, and So it'd be really appreciated if people try to keep in mind to respect their neighbors and follow the city guidelines and put up the fireworks safely and respectfully. And that's it for me this evening.
Most wonderful. Thank you very much. I think we're going to move over to engineering. Councillor Rice.
Thank you, Worship. This is a very important part of the puzzle for engineering. So I just want to comment on this part that's being brought forward. It's a designed bill for our water storage tank and our water tower site upgrades for Kenmount Hill development. A very important part of the puzzle for our development in that area. So I just want to comment actually on a couple of comments on this one actually is that we're actually doing work in this area right now, and this work will be coordinated with other ongoing construction projects on the Kenmount Hill side. This includes the White Boulevard upgrades, the Farrell Drive Pump House upgrades, and the Water Tower Road upgrades, all tied together in that area. So I just want to actually, the request came by for proposal for the build design storage tank unit and the tower sites. A recommendation for the upgrades of Kenmount Hill development closed on November the 3rd. We had 2 bids that were received for this project's tender. The successful bid was Dexter Construction Company Limited with a bid amount of $4,826,348.75, HST included. And like I said before, it's a very important part of the puzzle for our next phase of development for Kenmount Hillside, and very important for this to move forward for the city for development. And I shall move.
Thank you. Moved by Councillor Rice and seconded by Councillor Antol. Any questions or comments? It's a big award. It's a really big step forward. I'm going to ask the CAO to talk about, if you wouldn't mind, CAO right out. We're going to recover this not from taxation, right?
Yes, that's right. Actually, just this week, our team is working through the service levy calculations with Altus Group, who essentially are combining and finalizing all the costs associated with the build for the North of Topsail Road development, which includes the water tower, includes water tower road upgrades, it includes a transmission line upgrades to our pump house. Obviously, future traffic considerations. So there's a significant amount of investment required from the city, and the intent is, as with any development upgrades of this size and nature, that we will recover those from service levy calculations, and we're hoping to finalize those and get them out early in the new year. So there's a lot of work that goes into it, but I'm encouraged to see the work progressing at the rate it is.
Stuff. We're moving right along. Any further questions before I call the motion? I'll call the motion. All in favor and contraminded? Carried. Back to you, sir.
Thank you, Worship. Next one is for information purposes. It's our capital works update. So this one actually for information, for intention and consideration for council and the public. We have the Farrell Drive Pump House upgrades. Construction is ongoing on that project. The asphalt and concrete tender construction is complete. The 2025 concrete work tender construction ongoing. It's about 90% complete. Under our White Boulevard upgrades, construction ongoing, 30% complete. Crews are finalizing work, concrete and asphalt in preparation for winter. As you know, we're fighting the weather now, so we're trying to do it in between, I guess, the snow and the conditions for pour the concrete and asphalt. Our sewage lift station, which is on Mount Carson Avenue, construction is ongoing. It's 40% complete. And under Jackman Drive upgrades, the contract is awarded, and work is in the easement beginning on December the 4th, weather permitting. And the Water Tower Access Road, the contract is already awarded for that one. Construction is started and the schedule begin started this week. And like I said, we're fighting the weather on these projects so far. So hopefully the snow will leave us now. We'll get back on track. Hopefully we don't get too much frost. Under our water storage tank, design build contract, design build, council award is pending. Just had an announcement on that one a second ago. And Glencoe culvert replacement, the construction is ongoing. It's 80% complete. And our T-railway crossing on Commonwealth Avenue, construction is ongoing, 50% complete. Final completion expected in the spring of 2026. As you can see, we had some disruption down there in the last little while, trying to get some the meridian in the center. And but hopefully that'll be a good addition to our T-rail and a safe crossing for pedestrians in that area. And that's it for us, Your Worship. Thank you very much.
Good stuff. I see occupancy permits are listed there just for your information, I believe, if I got this right. No, I'm going to turn to you. I believe Councillor Locke. I'm just trying to get my planning and development. Councillor Locke.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, the occupancy permits are listed number 3 under this heading, and Councillor Royce will take those. I have 2 to speak to the Mayor. The first involves an application for proposed family childcare use at 65 Michener Avenue. This application came in and, of course, followed due process within the city, meets our regulations, but it does require discretion of council. We went through the normal process of advertising for a public briefing session. We sent out notifications, I think, to 127 homes in the 150-meter radius around 65 Michener Avenue. Nobody expressed interest to come out to the briefing session, so as per normal in such circumstance, the briefing session did not go ahead. The owner of this application at 65 Michener Avenue already has a childcare at Medley Place, and they're going to actually move this operation to Medley Place in the same neighborhood. So as such, the department and committee is recommending approval of this application, again, located at 65 Michener Avenue, given the following, that the operator is moving, as I said, the use within the neighborhood from a nearby street. So along Michener Avenue, there's a sidewalk in place there. There's parking permitted outside this residence. So there's adequate sight lines, so there's no safety risks there for the drop-off and pickup. The use is not anticipated to significantly impact the residential nature of the neighborhood. Again, it's just a move from one location to the other within the same neighborhood. And the use is not anticipated to significantly alter or increase traffic on Michener Avenue or cause issues with parking. And as we all know, based on our strategic plan, building tomorrow, there is a great need for childcare spaces within the city. So this is certainly in line with our strategic initiatives. And I move that we proceed with this, Mayor.
Thank you very much. It is moved by Councillor Locke and seconded by Deputy Mayor Kiley. Any questions, Council? Very much needed, of course. No further comments. I'll call the motion. All in favor? Anybody opposed? Passed.
Thank you, Mayor. The next is a proposed pylon sign in front yard setback at 185 to 195 Commonwealth Avenue. Our committee is recommending approval of the installation of this sign within the front yard setback at this location on Commonwealth. Given the following, it'll be approved. We're recommending approval given the following: that sighting is in keeping with the existing established sign patterns in the area, which it is; that the proposed location does not create any sightline obstructions, which is has been proven not to do so; and that the property owner has confirmed the proposed location meets the minimum 16 feet Newfoundland Power clearance from the main overhead line along Commonwealth Avenue, which is also in compliance. And as such, the recommendation is to proceed with this and grant approval, and I so move.
Again, moved by Councillor Locke, and thank you. Second by Deputy Mayor Kiley. Comments, questions? We went through a very engaging process to get here. Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary-minded? That's carried as well.
That's it for me, Mayor. I thank you.
I think we're going to turn now, if I'm, correct me if I'm wrong, Councillor Antle, to Corporate Services, and you're up. Oh,
Just for clarification on the permit listing, that comes under the planning and development? That one, is there, am I correct on that saying that?
from the, under Director Bat's group, yeah,
But would that be under Council Locke's portfolio?
planning, yeah.
Planning, right?
Yeah, I
Planning
got
and
you as
development.
engineering and him as planning and development.
So that will
lead.
come under planning and development, right? That's what we discussed before, right?
So I think he's putting the
Yeah.
baton back to you, Councillor Locke.
I will graciously accept the baton, Councillor Rice. Thank you. I just saw that your name was on the report as the lead, and I didn't want to walk on any toes here. Yeah. Okay, I'll proceed with this. Mayor, sorry about that. This is the occupancy permit listing for November 10th to November 21st of 2025. And as you can see, it's for information purposes there. It's all outlined. If there's any questions, we'll certainly answer any questions that may arise.
Thoughts? Thank you very much for delivering that report. And now I'm going to turn to Councillor Antle. He's going to be a busy fella in a few minutes, but he's got to get through some of our invoices for approval, Councillor Antle.
Well, like you say, this hour has 22 minutes, so sit back and relax. All right. I have a few here, we also spend a lot of money. So first now we have some invoices for approval. And the department recommends approval of the invoices for this date for a totaling of $507,660.52. And they're in your kit, and I so move.
Moved by Councillor Antle, and thank you. Second by Councillor Locke. All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
The payment register is in your kit. This is an FYI. And just 1 second here. The payment and this. The dates of November the 13th to December the 2nd, 2025 for $3,504,972.25. And this is just an information. It's in your kit. Any questions? There are none, so I'll move forward. The next one was be the number 3 is provision of insurance on risk management. It's all in your kit there. It's the committee recommends, based on both technical evaluation and pricing, that the contract for RFP 25-24 provision of insurance and risk management be awarded to Caligrow Insurance in the amount of $489,246.80, and I so move.
Yeah, it is moved by Councillor Antle and seconded by Councillor Locke. Any thoughts, comments? Got to have it. Caligrow's the way we're going. Okay, I'll call the question. All in favor? Contrary-minded? Carried, thanks.
Next one might be a little bit of controversy, I guess. It's regarding our accessory dwelling unit incentive program. This has been ongoing. This is part of our half funding. We've been doing this now for the past couple of years. And this is an accessory unit. You can either have a garden suite or a backyard or a new apartment, but it has to be a new build. And prior to this, our allowance was $5,000. But we're going to move that from $5,000 to $10,000, and that'll be effective January 2026. And as we're moving this to $10,000, we're keeping it in line with our communities that are municipalities that are around this area, such as Paradise, Torbay. And our committee recommends approval, and I so move.
It is moved and seconded by Councillor Antle and Councillor Locke. Any questions? Councillor Rice.
No, I just want to make a comment on this one. This one, I was on the committee actually when we brought this forward before about the HAVE funding. The city is doing everything we can to try to incentivize, builders to get funding for housing development in the city. And this is a strong movement for the city to go back to $10,000, whereas before it was $5,000. So, we're just trying to do what we can, our part as a city, just to move forward for more housing, more development, whether it be low-income housing or affordable housing or just housing alone. So I just want to put that out there that the city are doing everything we can to try to incentivize this and get it moving along. So that's all I had to say on that one. Thanks.
No, thank you. Back to you, Councillor Locke.
Thank you. I agree with Councillor Rice. And just a note here that we dropped it from 20,000 down to 5,000. And when we did that, there was no takers. It wasn't a big enough incentive to encourage or entice people to proceed with this. And as Councillor Rice alluded to, our whole intention is to intensify, to increase our housing stock, much needed housing stock in our city. So we went from 20 to 5. That seemed to be too low. So we only have limited money, so we decided to try at 10 to see if this is a sweet enough carrot to bring out some people that may want to make use of it. I thank you, Mayor.
Anything else? Comments? Hearing none, I'll call the question. Those opposed, oh, sorry, all in favor? Anybody opposed? Carried, thanks.
Microphone. Turn on my microphone. Talking to myself. All right. This is and it's normal. So, yeah. It's not too often you get that. So, it's a community amenity contribution policy, and it's part of our commitment with the half funding housing. Right. Our community amenity contribution policy, as it pertains to city-owned land only, and it's something that we want to look at. So we look at our city-owned land, and when we sell this property to the individuals or developers, we'd like to get something else back from the city when outside of just the dollars for the property. So the following amenities are eligible. So when a developer looks at our projects and wants to develop it, we can look at developing our trailways, do something on the trailways, public art, help out our roadways, park areas, playgrounds. This is something similar to other communities are doing this. And we want to change this policy starting January 1st. And it's in your kit. And if you got any questions, Director Mullins can certainly help us out. Thank you very much, Your Worship.
You're making a motion though, right? Yep.
Yes.
Moved by Councillor Randall, second by Councillor Locke. All good? I think Director Mullins, you want to explain a little bit more. This is designed that when development occurs, we expect the community to develop with that development, but it may not necessarily be right on the doorstep, like you might have seen in the past with large-scale subdivision developments.
Yeah, so the city has very little left of city-owned land. So this is applicable to city-owned land, and we have it for 1 acre or above that this policy will be applicable to. And so developers who are interested in purchasing land from the city that are 1 acre or above will have to enter into negotiations with the city that will be brought forward to the council to give back something to the city in ways in which Councillor Antle just referred to in those ways. And we, what that looks like and the amount that will be in terms of dollar value will be subject to negotiations. And this is part of our half requirement. It is a requirement that we actually have this policy in place. In order to continue to meet our obligations under that program, we are moving forward and recommending this policy to be adopted. That's further information on that.
Yeah, well explained. It doesn't apply to private land. It only applies for some city-owned property if the need be, right? So naturally, under the Housing Accelerator Fund, we want to be that partner to continue to provide more housing for the residents of the province. Any other comments? Thank you, Director. I'll call the question. All in favor? Opposed? And we are carried that one as well.
Number 6 has to do with professional development, and I think this is a really good initiative for a Director of Recreation and Community Service Safety for under 18 Women's World Hockey Championships in Cape Breton. In the past month or so ago, we had our under 18 Women's Championship right here in Mount Pearl, and it went off really, really well. And if anything that we can do to make that even better with Director Collins going there and paying more attention and getting it better and better. I don't know if you can make it better, but you certainly, we certainly support you. So the committee recommends the approval of Director of Recreation Community Safety to attend the Under 18 Women's World Hockey Championship in Cape Breton, Nova Scotia, as of an observer from January 14th to the 19th, 2026. I so move.
Moved by Councillor Antle again, seconded by Councillor Locke, and a comment from you, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. Certainly, I certainly support this, and Councillor Antle mentioned the Under-18 Women's National, and kudos to Director Collins and his team for the tremendous work that we did, and we demonstrated between us and CBS that we are quite capable of sponsoring and hosting and putting off a tournament of this magnitude. So I encourage Director Collins to go to this. I'm delighted that he is doing so, because I would love nothing more than to see the world women's national hockey teams come play in the city of Mount Pearl. Thank you, Mayor.
Great partnership between us and CBS. Any further comments? Call the question. All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Carried. Back to you. You're busy.
Oh, it's getting easier. Well, I don't know if it's getting easier, but it's getting close. Number 7 is regarding our public and committee of the whole meetings calendar. You can see that in your kit. The committee recommends that the 2026 public and committee of the whole meetings be approved as presented, and I so move.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to 2026. And motion by Councillor Antle, seconded by Councillor Locke. All in favor? Opposed? We have a calendar for next year. Where are we going, Councillor
I
Antle?
don't know. I was going for a little walk, so
I'm looking forward to your budget, sir.
yeah, I certainly am. Start working on test. Yep. Thank you very much. Well, I guess this is why we're all here. We have our 22 minutes, so I'll see how it goes. All right. Your worship, fellow councillors and special guests. I am honored to present the 2026 budget for the city of Mount Pearl. Mount Pearl has always been known as more than just a city. It's a place where safety, opportunity, and community thrive. It's a city recognized for exceptional services and sound financial management, and a place where civic engagement and sense of togetherness are second to none. These values have always shaped who we are, and they will continue to guide where we are going. The 2026 budget focuses on fundamentals of a well-planned community, delivering on today's priorities while strategically preparing for tomorrow. This includes delivering high-quality municipal services, protecting and enhancing existing assets, investing strategically in infrastructure, including Donovan's Business Park, and continue to invest in progress and people. Key investments include community safety initiatives, major road and sidewalk improvements, and the opening of our new community center. We are also prioritizing upgrades to parks, trails, and city facilities to ensure a vibrant and accessible city. Beyond infrastructure, our strategic priorities emphasize business development, improved transit options, enhanced pedestrian safety, and expanded digital services for residents and businesses. We remain committed to investing in staff training and fostering a strong safety culture across all operations. These initiatives align with the city's strategic plan and strengthen Mount Pearl's position as a premier place to live, work, and thrive in Newfoundland and Labrador. For 2026, our total budget is $62.6 million. Operating expenses have increased by $3.9 million, or 7%, driven by rising costs by delivering city services and higher regional service expenses. In addition to operating expenses, we will continue to prioritize critical infrastructure upgrades and invest in civic amenities in 2026, with over $8 million invested in capital projects that support long-term growth and help us stay ahead of rising costs. Although revenue for 2026 has increased, inflationary pressures, currently at 2.2% in Newfoundland and Labrador, combined with rising obligations for regional services, debt, and statutory costs have significantly impacted operating expenses. The city is working diligently to manage these pressures while maintaining service standards. Our contribution to regional service has grown by nearly $750,000. This includes approximately $335,000 for regional services, for fire services, and just over $310,000 for the design of the Riverhead Wastewater Treatment Facility, a critical project that will help safeguard our freshwater resources for generations to come. Through strategic planning, strong regional partnerships, and responsible financial management, Budget 2026 remains efficient, sustainable, and aligned with the values of our community. Public consultation has shaped this budget. Through meetings, surveys, and strategic planning, we have heard what matters most: public safety, environmental stewardship, economic development, and enhanced programs and services. Last year, we committed to making public safety a cornerstone of our city. In 2026, that commitment becomes a reality, with Mount Pearl's first Community Safety and Wellbeing Plan, a 5-year roadmap guided by staff, partners, and residents to create a safer, more inclusive city for all. We are investing $200,000 in the Community Safety and Wellbeing Plan to turn recommendations into action and strengthen the foundation of a safer, healthier Mount Pearl. This investment reflects our commitment to proactive solutions that enhance quality of life for all residents. In addition, Mount Pearl is proud to join the National Upstream Project led by the Canadian Centre for Safer Communities. As one of only 10 communities in Canada selected to participate, we're helping to lead a national movement to prevent violence and polarization by fostering strong partnerships, building resilience, and empowering communities to thrive. Mount Pearl is proud to be known as a city within a park, with more than 60 kilometers of beautiful trails that promote physical activity, support mental wellness, and enhance the quality of life. In Budget 2026, we are investing over $565,000 to enhance and maintain these vital spaces. This includes the installation of a trail washroom, upgrades from asphalt to granular in selected areas, targeted bridge repairs in key locations, and the continued rollout of trail lighting to improve safety and accessibility. These investments reflect our commitment to preserve the natural assets that make Mount Pearl such a vibrant and healthy place to live. Safeguarding Mount Pearl's critical infrastructure is not just a priority, it's an investment in our city's future. Reliable connections keep our community moving, our businesses thriving, and our residents safe. Just last month, we began to work at the Trailway crossing on Commonwealth Avenue, a milestone that underscores our commitment to long-term resilience. In Budget 2026, we allocated $250,000 for Phase 1 of the Commonwealth Avenue Bridge replacement, ensuring this vital link remains strong for decades to come. These upgrades are more than just repairs. They are strategic investments that support growth, enhance safety, and position Mount Pearl for opportunities ahead. Beyond infrastructure, we're investing in safer streets. In 2026, there's more than $200,000 dedicated to traffic calming measures across Mount Pearl, underscoring our commitment to community safety. Additionally, we are planning a pilot project on Smaller Drive between Commonwealth Avenue and Old Placentia Road to improve safety and support active transportation. The plan intends to temporarily reduce the roadway from 4 lanes to 3, adding a center turning lane, and reallocating space for cycling and pedestrian improvements. This test and monitor approach will use pavement markings and signage to evaluate traffic flow, safety, and community feedback before considering a permanent change. It aligns with our strategic goals for sustainability, mobility, and complete streets. We have heard from our business community about the need for transit options that offer a more convenient commute to and from work in Mount Pearl. In this budget, we are taking a fresh look at public transit routes to ensure they truly meet the needs of our community. Our goal is simple: make transit as efficient, reliable, and convenient as possible for the people who depend on it every day. By extending service hours on Route 21 and providing all-day coverage on Route 22, we're improving mobility for workers and residents, reducing congestion, lowering emissions, and strengthening connections between neighborhoods and businesses. These enhancements align with our integrated transportation plan and strategic plan, ensuring a more connected, inclusive, and future-ready city. Our 2026 budget is built to support growth and opportunity for every kind of business in Mount Pearl, from large industrial operations to local retailers, home-based businesses, and emerging startups. Whether it's a 10,000 square foot facility in Donovan's, an established storefront on Commonwealth Avenue, or a new business being run from a home office, we recognize the value each brings to our city. We are investing $1.3 million in pedestrian improvements in Donovan's Business Park, focusing on new sidewalks and pedestrian crosswalks to create safer, more accessible streets. By improving infrastructure and safety, we are strengthening Donovan's as a vibrant, connected business hub. This year, we have increased our investment in the facade improvement and energy efficient grant program to $70,000. These programs help modernize businesses, their properties, and reduce environmental impact, making commercial areas more vibrant and sustainable, benefiting owners, customers, and the entire community. Earlier this year, Mount Pearl proudly welcomed the nation as we hosted baseball and wrestling competitions during the 2025 Canada Games, as well as the Under-18 National Women's Hockey Championships. These events showcased our city's capacity to deliver world-class experience and open the door to even more opportunities in the future. To ensure we remain steady for what's ahead, we are investing in upgrades to the glacier, including washrooms, exterior doors, flooring, and power boards. These improvements will enhance accessibility and position Mount Pearl as a leader in inclusive sport, helping us to grow participation in sledge hockey and more. Our commitment to youth and amateur sports is reaffirmed in this year's budget, with a continued investment of $87,000 in grants for organizations within the Mount Pearl Sports Alliance. Consultations confirm that recreation programs and community events are top priority for residents. In response, we are allocating $200,000 to fully resurface the majority of Mount Pearl's outdoor courts. The ball field near St. Peter's will be replaced. The ball field nets at St. Peter's will be replaced. Somebody got excited.
Testing us.
From $6 million to $60,000. Went in pretty good. Anyway, we're going to replace the nets, so well, it worked out pretty good. Somebody got really happy. And we'll update the deck rate at the Summit Center pool. I was just checking to make sure you were all listening too. Right? Ensuring our facilities remain safe, accessible, enjoyable for everyone. Beyond building on the success of recent projects at Gloria Pearson Playground and Yetman Drive Park, we are replacing the playground equipment at Branscom's Pond and Farrell Drive Parks through a $100,000 investment. In addition, we are funding conceptual design of a new park off Larson Street, offering beautiful views of our city and creating another space for residents to gather, play, and enjoy the outdoors. Mount Pearl has long been recognized for its high-quality community programming and signature events. And in 2026, we're excited to expand these offerings with a strong focus on inclusion. Our budget includes more funding for community events, the opening of our new community center, and increased pool programming. Most importantly, we're introducing specific inclusive programs designed to ensure residents of all ages, abilities, and backgrounds can participate fully, whether through adaptive recreation, accessible fitness classes, or cultural diverse activities. These investments reflect our commitment on creating a vibrant, welcoming city where everyone can connect, belong, and thrive. Infrastructure is the foundation of a thriving community. In 2026, we're investing $1.8 million in fleet replacement, which includes a new loader, 8 light-duty vehicles, a garbage truck, and a large snowblower. Our roads maintenance budget is up 18%, with a 1.3 million dedicated to extending road life and reducing long-term costs. For every project we undertake, considers the environmental impact. As part of our sustainability goals, we'll continue to integrate electric or hybrid vehicles into our street fleet when practical and cost-effective. And we will install an energy-efficient rooftop air conditioning units at Reed Community Centre and the Public Works Depot. These upgrades are in addition to $606,000 investment in facility improvements focused on modern, energy-efficient systems. We are also setting aside $1.5 million for infrastructure projects that will be cost-shared with provincial and federal funding, programs like the recently announced Build Community Strong Fund. By having our portion ready, we can act quickly when funding becomes available, start priority projects sooner, and complete them faster for the benefit of our community. Our employees are the backbone of Mount Pearl's success. Budget 2026 continues investments in professional development and workplace safety to ensure our team can deliver exceptional service. We are allocating funds to strengthen training programs, enhance leadership development, and foster a culture where safety is a shared responsibility. By prioritizing our people, we are building a resilient organization that values well-being, accountability, and continuous improvement. This commitment to our workforce is not just an investment in today. It's a foundation for the future, ensuring Mount Pearl remains a safe, innovative, and people-first city. Budget 2026 strengthens public safety, enhances community, and upgrades critical infrastructure. I am proud to present this budget as a clear step towards a stronger, more connected Mount Pearl. Even with ongoing financial pressures, including the continuing impact of inflation, this budget maintains service levels, advances key projects, and ensures our fiscal position remains strong. I am pleased to present the budget with no increase to residential or commercial mill rates or water fees. However, residents and business should know that overall property taxes may increase due to increased municipal assessments reflecting current property values across the city, as determined by the Municipal Assessment Agency's process. This is not a change to the mill rate itself. I just want to be clear, this is no change to our mill rate in the city of Mount Pearl. Budget 2026 represents a shared priorities and vision. A Mount Pearl that continues to grow stronger, is more connected, and ready to embrace new opportunities. Most importantly, Budget 2026 has something for everyone. Inclusive and forward-thinking, it ensures that families, businesses, seniors, and youth alike, as we work together to create a vibrant, welcoming city for all. Thank you. Now, Your Worship. As required by legislation, I am pleased to move the following motions. Be it resolved that the City of Mount Pearl, in accordance with the City of Mount Pearl Act, establish the attached tax rate for the 2026 taxation year, and I so move. Be it resolved that the City of Mount Pearl, in accordance with the City of Mount Pearl Act, attaches the schedule of rates and fees to take effect January 1st, 2026, and I so move. Be it resolved that the City of Mount Pearl, in accordance with the City of Mount Pearl Act, approve the 2026 budget and its operating revenues and expenditures totaling of $62,587,619, and I so move. And that's it.
That was moved and seconded and brought down a great budget speech. Well done, guys. Everybody. Where are you going? The motion didn't pass yet. But having said that, Councillor Antle, great delivery and a lot of hard work went into it. I'm going to invite my colleagues to comment. I'll start with the seconder, Councillor Locke.
Thank you, Mayor. Well done, Councillor Antle. And also extend sincere thanks to my council colleagues and, of course, senior management who did the heavy lifting. Budget is always an interesting time. It starts early in the fall. Many meetings, debates, discussions, But again, I think Councillor Antle said it right when he said this was a budget of the priorities from our consultations. And certainly during the election campaign, having knocked on thousands of doors and spoken with thousands of residents, you know, community safety, our programming, our trailways, they were continually brought up by the residents. So I think this budget and the key aspects of this budget certainly speak to that. Some of the things that I'm particularly interested in, I like the whole concept of trying to make our city more pedestrian friendly with active transportation, more connected. And this concept that you spoke of, Councillor Antle, on the road diet, on Smallwood Drive Extension is what I know it, that those who grew up in Mount Pearl from Commonwealth Avenue to Old Placentia Road. This whole concept, I brought this concept of road diet to council probably 15 years ago, but it didn't take any traction. But it's all about creating a streetscape that's more pedestrian friendly. And back when I brought it in first encountered this in Victoria, British Columbia, in downtown Victoria. When you look at their streetscape, probably 65% of the streetscape is designed for pedestrian activity, and maybe 30 to 35% is for vehicles. But when you look at Smallwood Drive Extension, when you look at Commonwealth Avenue, when you look at Ruth Avenue, there's probably 5% for pedestrians and 95% for vehicles. So this concept of, you know, it's temporary, it's a pilot to try to reduce the 5 lanes on Smallwood Drive Extension down to 3 and allow for bike lanes and other modes of transit. I think it's a good step forward. I think we're going to see positive results from that. So that's one of the positives, Councillor Antle, that I enjoyed in your speech. The other is the $1.3 million that we've decided to invest in Donovan's. Donovan's is such a key contributor to our community from a tax-based perspective, but also there's over 5,000 employees working in Donovan's, you know, every single day. And I know we made some key investments a few years back in sidewalks up there, but this $1.3 million will allow us to expand sidewalks, to improve crosswalks, so that to promote, you know, a part of our strategic plan is active transportation, active living. So this investment, I think, is key, and I think it'll be a welcome investment to our business communities and the employees who work in our Donovan's Business Park, because it's a vibrant park. It's still the biggest, I think, in the province. So it's a key investment. And of course, I'm delighted to see the enhancements in our public transit through Metrobus, with enhancements to Route 21, and also with the enhancements to Route 22, you know, the all-day service on Route 22. Again, our business communities asked for this. This is going to provide more accessibility, increased flow, more efficient transportation, not only for the customers to go to these businesses, but also for the employees that need to get to and from work. So I'm delighted. Again, congratulations, Councillor Antle, on a good delivery and a job well done. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. I'm going to turn to Councillor Fry now. Thank you. Just kind of going around the circle, folks.
Thank you, Your Worship. Congratulations, Councillor Antle. That was a great budget. There are many aspects of it that stand out to me, specifically the community safety and the investment in community safety. I'm so happy to see that. I also like the upgrades to our parks, including the nets, Councillor Antle. But the outdoor recreational spaces are important to our residents. And there are so many things in there, but as the Public Works lead, I will speak to that this evening. So we're investing $1.8 million to renew our fleet, replacing essential vehicles like a loader, a garbage truck, a snow blower, and 8 light-duty vehicles to maintain reliable services year-round. Mount Pearl is known for our services, and by investing in our fleet and having proper equipment, we can continue to maintain those levels. In 2026, we will continue the installation of audible pedestrian signals. And these systems provide cues. So when you come to the intersection, you'll hear a beep or a chirp or a spoken message. And this is to assist visually impaired pedestrians in knowing when it's safe to cross. And this year's budget also sees a continued investment in water and wastewater operations, with over 1.7 million invested in UTM, which is the division responsible for maintaining the city's underground infrastructure, whose efforts have resulted in significant savings on water consumption. So all of these important things contribute to the city's ability to provide top-notch services, which our residents deserve. And that's it for me, Your Worship. Thank you.
We're getting there, Councillor Antle. Over to you, Councillor Lane, and then Deputy Mayor, then Councillor Rice.
Thank you very much. Councillor Angela, fantastic job bringing into this budget, so thank you very much. Also, a huge thank you to our staff for all of your hard work and my council colleagues as well. I'm the community safety lead, so I'm going to speak directly to that. But overall, I think this has been a really great budget. Residents have been reaching out with community safety concerns, so I think now more than ever was a very important time to start investing more into that. So we're investing $565,000 to enhance our trails with lighting, bridge repairs, and a new washroom, making them safer and more accessible for walkers, runners, and cyclists. We're launching Mount Pearl's first community safety and well-being plan with $200,000 to turn recommendations into live action and create a safer, more inclusive city. And as one of only 10 Canadian communities selected for the Upstream project, we're helping lead a national effort to prevent violence and polarization through collaboration and resilience building. We're also dedicating $200,000 to traffic calming measures to reduce speeding and improve pedestrian safety across our city. I think with all of these initiatives in place, things can only continue to move forward in a safe and inclusive way here in our city. That's it for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Safety is a big theme. It's very much intertwined throughout the whole piece. It's not just a standalone item, is it? Thank you very much. Over to you, Deputy Mayor, Recreation.
Thank you, Your Worship. And that's exactly what I was about to say, is that this budget, while certainly there are divisions that worked incredibly hard, have an expertise, however, this budget it just demonstrates the collaboration that happens behind scenes. The work that we're doing regarding building, infrastructure, absolutely connects to safety, because we see just literally the bricks and mortar of these places in which we gather, and we want to increase our safety is just as important as the programs that we are developing. So I'm happy to speak on recreation, and specifically just it's first class. When we look at all of the programs we have right now throughout the city, we are known as an incredibly accessible, inclusive, and an area where you absolutely can have the most development for your personal development and for children and families, and at just about any age, any background, any experience. We see recreation as a holistic endeavor. And when we think about the social return on investment, that is so important that while we may not see the economic development of exactly what the cost is, we can see it in the way in which wellness is promoted. We can see it in how people are feeling included, people are feeling safe. So that is one of the things that I want to look at, is ways in which we see ourselves in the big picture of recreation. But just to focus on some of the key items, let's just talk about the resurfacing of some of the major outdoor courts, the majority of them, and replacing, yes, the ball field, not just the ball, the ball field nets, not the ball field itself in St. Peter's. These are investments to ensure that we can improve the safety and playability for athletes and families. And that's a $200,000 investment there. We're also looking at ensuring that some of our buildings that are again, aging, but that doesn't mean we keep them up to date. So rejuvenating the glacier, having upgrades to the washrooms, the exterior doors and the flooring, and just specific focus on the paraboards. That is going to enhance our accessibility. And when we think about what that will invite. Sledge hockey, I'm actually interested myself. Might be one of those people on the participating in that. But I believe we can be a leading and welcoming city for accessible sports. We're also going to be replacing the playground equipment on Branscombe Pond and Farrell Drive parks. And because outdoors is an important place to ensure we have a place to gather, we have a place to be active. We're also investing in the design of our new park off Lawson Street, a $100,000 investment, because we know we need to continue to expand and create more spaces for families to gather and play as we grow our neighborhoods. We're also increasing the support for community spirit and events. And this is, again, this is such a collaborative budget. We are seeing the value of seeing events and opportunities just to socialize as an important endeavor. And more importantly, we're doing it in a way that's accessible. So we are going to be looking at events and recreation programs for all ages, all abilities and backgrounds to fully participate. And of course, we can't, I can't go without saying our new opening of our new community center. That's going to be a significant increase to what we can do for recreation and what we can do for creating a safety of inclusion, accessibility, and a culture of connection and belonging. So there's so much we can really think. And I want to thank my colleague, Councillor Ansell, for an incredible delivery, and our staff and our colleagues that were a part of this process. I'm incredibly proud to put forth this budget today, and I believe it's planting the seeds for many things to come. We are definitely future forward thinking.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor, and over to you, Councillor Rice. And Councillor Rice, it's a lot on the engineering plate this time around.
Absolutely. Good to see. So first and foremost, I want to say congratulations to Councillor Ansell for a stellar performance at that podium up there tonight. Great budget, and you're looking at around the table at all councillors, it all fits together like a puzzle. I'm looking at every part that's very important to the city. And I just want to comment, like in the part of the budget process, council and all the senior staff and CAO, certainly the amount of time and the hours that go into putting this together and finalizing the budget, it takes a lot of time and a lot of hours. So I just want to say thank you for your patience with council, and appreciate your time that you spent around the table many nights. And I'm sure you spent a lot of nights on your own in your own departments putting together all the parts of the puzzle to fit together. But just want to add, the city of Mount Pearl is a very progressive a city that is well ran and well planned out. From our financial part to our, investments and stuff like that. And one part of the budget that really stood out to me there was the infrastructure is the foundation of a thriving community. And that's so important. When we talk about our engineering department, I was so happy to see an 18% actually investment of a $1.3 million in our road systems to improve our road maintenance. As we all know, the city of Mount Pearl is an aging city. It's not like it's 20 years old anymore. It's getting old, and a lot of our infrastructure parts around the city needs some TLC and some replacement parts. So we're setting aside $1.5 million for our. So when our provincial and our federal funding comes on stream, we're ready to put the city's portion into that. So that's very important for the city. So that's part of the well planning of the city. Also. There's a $250,000 investment in the replacement of our bridge on Commonwealth Avenue. That's the design part. That's so important too, because, like with a concrete and foundation and rebar, and part of my infrastructure background from when I'm retired from healthcare as an infrastructure manager, replacing those parts, they don't last forever. And it comes a point we're at the city, part of the city plan now where we're investing in the replacement of bridges and road networks and stuff like that. So it's very important, that the city is so progressive and well planned out so we can actually have investments have the funding available for investing in those projects. We're also committing $606,000 to our city buildings to upgrade the air handling units and our our energy efficient system in the buildings. And like I said before, as a former facility manager, I know how important it is to get clean air into buildings and invest in our the roof replacement on our buildings. And we have a big area in the city that we have. We have some of our buildings that are newer. When we have the new community center coming on stream right now. But it's very important to invest to make sure our buildings are well equipped to handle our weather and stuff like that. Also, I just want to mention about one of the things that caught my eye in the budget too. Our increase in our regional services is so important, but we're holding steady and fast on our no increases in our mill rate, no increases to our commercial side of the investment for the city. So, it all ties together, and I just want to say it's so important for the investment of the city and the long-term plan of the city. Thank you very much. It's great budget, and I certainly support it 100%.
Well said. Councillor Antle, you've been busy tonight, and I'd like you to close debate with your commentary and congratulate you again, and then we'll call for the motion. Over to you.
I've never had someone listen to me so much. I don't get anybody listen to me at home like this, so it works out perfect. All right, Roxanne can turn me off pretty quick. Anyhow. Yeah, no one's listening. Anyhow, we talked about the budget. We worked on this budget since we got elected in October. And as Councillor Locke just said, we knocked on doors. I mean, you want to know how we found out how the budget was this, how we did our budget? That was our consultations. We talked to so many residents as we went around the neighborhood, told us what they wanted to hear. Safety was key. We heard safety many, many, many times, and how we could make it better and more inclusive city of Mount Pearl. And that's what we focus on this budget. You can take a look at it, and that's what we did. When you look at our trail lights down on the Waterford Trail, we're going to extend those trail lights. I mean, we talk about that so often. That was our key. That was our driver when we were doing this budget. When you looked at this budget, like Councillor Rice just said, it's $62.6 million. $62.6 million, and we never raised the mill rate. We never raised the mill rate for our residents, and we never raised it for our businesses. We stuck on that mill rate, and we made sure everything was affordable. It was a focus that we were doing, to keep it like that. There will be a small increase through the Municipal Assessment Agency, but that varies. And it's a well thought out budget. I think something that we should be proud of. It's a good job. And, the same thing as everybody else just said, our directors have to put up with us for since October, asking different things. Glenn Dallamont for a little while was going to be driving a wheelbarrow. But, but it worked. And, we got it all better and made sure the city is run perfect. So thank you very much. And thank you all for the compliments. It was great to deliver the budget, but it wasn't alone. Each one of you guys contributed just as much as I did. Thank you very much.
And you think your street's getting plowed this winter, do you? No, and I'd like to thank you all and just comment on the process. But one of the benefits of all members of council being reelected is that the budget process was very thorough, very efficient. A lot of hard work went into it, but we did, so to speak. I know it's a bit of a cliche. We hit the ground running. But having said that, there's a lot of ingenuity. There's a lot of newness in this, a lot of modernization, a lot of reflection on where our city is going. It leads us into a new strategic plan, likely from 26 and beyond. But I just wanted to comment on the process and thank you all for your hard work. Staff, thank you for all the extra hours. As Councillor Rice said, or Councillor Anna, putting up with us for the last few months. But in particular, on the finance side, I'd like to compliment Director Mullins and Manager of Finance, Stephanie Hines. They've done a really good job getting this together, getting us to where we are. And I'll add in a similar vein, the communication piece with this is really, really important. And I notice, folks, you seem to have been well prepared to speak tonight. So I'd like to give Carrie Hodder also a big shout out, as well as to you and everybody else in the room, the director, CIO, city clerk, and of course, Ms. Pico, our executive assistant. So you did a great job doing it all. That's not going to make the news. It's the same as I told Gerald Coombs with the Santa Claus Parade, which happened on Sunday. Nobody will know the work that really goes into it, but we do. And Councillor Anthony, you said you were proud to bring in the budget. I think we're all proud of the job that we've done, but we're not going to sit around now and be all cocky, right? We're going to get on with the work. So a budget as robust to this, CAO, means there's going to be a lot of work on a lot of files. So I want to wish you all the best for 2026. And at this time, I am going to call for that motion, those three motions, please, to be approved. All in favor? Those that are opposed? No nays. We have an approved budget for 2026. Well done. Now, we can do a roundtable, or you can just let me speak for 20 minutes. We're going to start tonight with Councillor Locke.
Thank you, Mayor. Only one. You mentioned the Santa Claus Parade. Again, always a great event. I did have the opportunity to join Gerald Coombs and his team assembling the float for Santa's sleigh up in Donovan's on Thursday evening. And you're right. No one knows what goes on behind the scenes. A lot of work. Gerald has been doing this for more years than I wish to admit, but always it's the start of the Christmas season in our household. So I just want to commend the Lions again for another great job, and of course our city staff as well that were involved with it, and the float. Our city float was certainly noticed by my grandchildren and my family and friends. So kudos to city staff that put the time in for that as well. So that's the only item I have for the roundtable. But given that this is our last meeting, as you mentioned, Mayor, for 2025, I was reflecting there as my colleagues were speaking. This month, 18 years ago, I first joined this council. And as I was listening to Councillor Antle deliver the budget, I was just going back in my mind, not that I wasn't listening to you, Councillor Antle, because I was, but of all the advancements, all the growth, all the modernizations, this council has always been forward-thinking. It has always been so well planned. So we talked about the half funding and the requirement under the half funding that Director Mullins talked about, but that's in alignment with our continual planning in the city of Mount Pearl, all our neighborhoods with our playgrounds and our trail systems and our outdoor spaces and our modern facilities. We know how to do things here in the city of Mount Pearl, and I don't mind boasting. I'll sing it from the rooftops whenever I go across this country. I am proud of the city of Mount Pearl because we have a great council, but we have a great support staff from our senior directors right down to every single one of our employees. They are committed to the residents of Mount Pearl to make Mount Pearl a place that we are all proud to call home. So I just want to give my sincere thanks to everyone for the work that's been done over the last 18 years and we're continuing to do. I am so proud to be a part of this team. And on that note, I just want to wish everyone a great Christmas holiday season with your family and friends, especially those of us who have been putting in a lot of hours over the last couple of months. We need some time to reconnect with family and friends. And I wish you all a 2026, a year filled with love, health, and happiness. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Over to you, Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Your Worship. And I just want to, again, thank everybody who has been a part of this process. I'm incredibly proud and excited for what this year is what's to come. And I think Councillor Locke had said it best when it comes to how proud we are around this table. And, having had the opportunity and the experience of being here for so many years, I know we have a diversity of members around this council with different ages and of experience. And it's wonderful when you see the connections that are being made from a decade ago and what we want to see from a decade from now. And in fact, more than a decade, 100 years from now. And it's incredibly humbling to know that you are a part of a bigger picture. And while, we are all in these seats for a small period of time, that we have a huge responsibility ahead of us to ensure that the seeds that we've planted in years past continue to be tended to, And that what we are doing today is looking at not only who we are right now, but where we're going. And I just want to thank everybody who had seen that, again, that part of the budget and that larger vision. And the other thing is, I want to wish everybody a wonderful, happy holiday season. It's wonderful to be coming here today and taking a small break before we get to the work. And I'm so excited to see my family. I'm so excited to see the friends and family. And to your point, Councillor Locke, I saw a lot of those people around in the crowds on Saturday, and at the light up the night ceremony. And it just shows that while we are a large city with a complex structure of infrastructure and programs and services, we're also small, because I just feel when you think about it on just a personal level, heart to heart, that we see both the larger picture, but we're connected. So it's just so humbling and so proud to be a part of a city that has those and respects those type of those visions and care. So again, happy holidays to everyone, to my colleagues and to the staff and to the residents, and stay safe and enjoy your time off and your breaks and your time with your family. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor, thank you very much. It feels like an Alice Cooper song should be sang right now, but we're not out of school. There should be one about the budget. Councillor Antle, great job in delivery tonight. You certainly made us proud, but I'm sure you have some final comments.
Oh, I'm just going to say thank you. Just a couple of things. I really wasn't planning a round table. I didn't think we'd do a round table. As we said, this is our last meeting before the New Year. You know, it's only December the 9th, so I'm sure we're going to have lots of work to do. So, all right. You know, we've been very busy, but I was looking at the parade, and as Councillor Locke talked about our Christmas parade, it was so fun to walk the parade and you get a chance to talk to the residents. I have this app on my phone that tracks how far I walk. And I found out that Park Avenue is about 4.5, 5 kilometers long, but I walked about 9 kilometers. But when I checked, it was going back and forth. Yeah, so I think we all did the same thing. It was a job to keep track of it, but it was really enjoyable to walk the parade and get to meet the residents. And it was a good day, cold day, but we got used to it. And after that, we went back and we lit up St. David's Field. And man, that looks fabulous. I tell you, the residents get a chance to go up, take a look there and walk around. I mean, we're building our community center down there on Team Guju. But this is a postcard. I mean, it looks so fabulous up there now. I hope we get to see everybody over the Christmas holidays, and that's everything for me. Merry Christmas. Ho, ho.
Thank you so much. Over to you, Councillor Rice.
Thank you, Worship. My sentiments exactly what Councillor Locke has mentioned about the city, and so progressive and well ran, and it's so well planned out, and so well, you know, like kudos to the staff, to all senior staff, CAO, and everybody that have a part in doing what they do. They do a great job, fabulous job in the city. And I just want to say congratulations on the work you do, every single one of you, right down to the staff. And we couldn't be no more proud as councillors, you know, to stand behind all you guys and girls, and it makes us proud. And as co-chair, I guess, or chair of the engineering department, I just want to make a couple of comments on. I know traveling around the city over the last. I guess the last 2.5, 3 months, we're trying to finish off projects before the snow got here, and some of them never worked out too good for us. But you know, I just, you know, if any of the residents can really get a feel of what we're trying to accomplish in the city, we're moving forward. We're always moving forward in the city to improve the city, to everywhere, you know, every aspect of our roadways, our network of our trailways. And I just want to make a comment on our T-rail, our crosswalk down there. I know it was a lot of congestion down there for about 2 weeks, because myself and Director Bat had several conversations on. I had a few calls from a few residents, but that I supported that T-rail right from the get-go, and I was one of the councillors that were pushing to get it done. And now I can see it being done, and it's no different than any other crosswalk. We're going to have a safe crossing there at that T-rail. no different than down on Park Avenue, no different out on Topsa Road, where out by, the Smith building out there. They put one on the crosswalks. Paradise got them, CBS got them, St. John's got them. I just want to, make a comment on, it's part of our recreation program and a safe crossing down there. And also, again, to all the residents, just be patient while we're getting the work done around the city. We know you're frustrated going around the city, but also you got to remember, you need to slow down in the city too. It's not a racetrack or a speedway from point A to point B. And so to finish off, I just want to say a Merry Christmas. I certainly enjoy working around the table with our mayor and all of our councillors. I really do. You're great councillors, great mayor, and great staff. And I just want to say, over the Christmas holidays, just try to decompress, enjoy your time off, and healthy and prosperous New Year. Thank you.
Well said. Thank you very much, especially the great parts. Over to you, Councillor Lane.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'm going to keep it very short and sweet. Wishing everyone a happy holidays. It's been wonderful working with all of my colleagues here on the table and staff. Hope you take time to spend with your family. I know I have 3 very excited little ones at my house this year. So everyone enjoy the Christmas festivities and a happy New Year.
Good stuff. Thank you very much. Looking forward to that. Councillor Fry.
Well, there's not much left to be said that hasn't already been said so well. I will echo everyone's sentiments. I mean, we do have a great staff here. And just last night, I was watching the snowplow operator outside my house, and he was doing such a great job. And you could see that he was taking pride in what he was doing. It just made me smile. Yeah, well, that's inevitable. The one thing that I do want to remind everybody this year, first of all, I want to say a thank you to those who have organized food drives and all the volunteers who are working at the food banks to try and get the hampers together for people who need a little bit extra help this year. And I know that not everybody can afford to give, but if you can, throw a few dollars that way. But on the flip side of that, if there's anybody that needs a hand, don't be too proud to receive it, because that's what we do. We're community and we're all in this together and we're here to help each other. So there are 3 food banks here in the city. If anybody needs any help, I know there's one at Our Lady Queen of Families, and there are 3. So if anybody's interested, you can call the city. I don't need to get into all that. But there are so many volunteers and people who are out there doing really good things. And while we're going about our business, also a reminder just to show a little bit of kindness to people. Not everybody has a happy holiday. Everybody has their own crosses to bear. So keep that in mind and just spread a little bit of kindness, and that's the best thing you can give anybody for Christmas. So I wish everybody a wonderful holiday and a happy new year. And it really is a pleasure working with this team. And thank you for all that you do.
It's all been said. Thank you all so much. I have nothing further to add on top of that. Well, except, something? They said it couldn't be done, but we're building a community center. The crosswalk is being done. We're going to replace a bridge. We got a water tank that's going to be built likely this summer. Director Bad has been really busy, hasn't he, right? Getting us here, right? You know what I mean, right? So that's that newness and freshness I talked about. And I think many of you mentioned the degree of planning that goes into it. But the planning is, we guide the planning. I'm going to turn it over now. I'm going to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'll turn it over for final comment to our CAO.
Thank you, Mayor. It's great sitting here tonight listening to this budget come in. It's my 7th budget at the City of Mount Pearl. So this one's in a different chair. But what's really awesome to see, for lack of a better way to say it, and a testament to this city and the teamwork and collaboration that goes into it, is what we see come to life. So as I'm sitting here, I see the implementation of the community safety plan. I see the integrated transportation plan. I see the fleet management plan, the asset management plan. I see the trails master plan and the rec plan coming to life in this budget, and that's because this team works so well together. There's so much collaboration. This budget process started in July of this year, came to council in October. But this is something that never ends. So we manage this process all year. There's a lot of hard work that goes into the day-to-day operation of the city, right up, all hours. It doesn't sleep. So we have people working around the clock here at the City of Mount Pearl. And as we sit here and work so closely with council, myself and the directors and our managers in particular, but there are almost 300 employees that do the work that we help build the direction of. And this year and this Christmas and holiday season, it's just a huge heartfelt thank you to everybody. And I'm just going to ask each of the directors to pass that on to your departments. I'm sure I speak on behalf of council in saying that. This is a very rewarding job and a very progressive and just a very progressive city to participate in all of the great things that we accomplish when we work together. And I'm very proud tonight to sit here in this seat with council, with our senior team, and say thank you. And I very, very much look forward to 2026 and all of the things that we have now agreed to do. So I've got to get to work. We all have to leave now. But thank you all, and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
That's wonderful words, and I extend the same warm feelings to everybody. You got to keep in mind too, right, that we will have people that will be working nights and over Christmas, whether they're in our facilities or on the roads and that, right? So we do recognize that while we sit here tonight and celebrate some success and make plans for tomorrow, there's another 300 people who are delivering our services to our residents and to our businesses, and I think that's really important. So Merry Christmas to them. Merry Christmas to all of you. And on a motion to adjourn by Deputy Mayor Kiley, second by Councillor Locke,